Bro only trades QS. Bro never heard of another stock except for QS. Bro's keyboard only has a Q and an S next to it. I heard it all. So today we traded something different. It's called open. Open door. I opened the door and I took the opportunity. And we're gonna go over the breakdown. Alright boys, another day, another dollar, up 5,291 cents. On the month, we're looking at 29,172.14 cents. So it's been a pretty good month. Still got a couple more days left. To be honest, I might not even trade that much going on forward until later because I've been busy at work. If I see opportunities, of course I'm gonna take them. This is where we're at. I'm very happy where we got to, and we traded it open for today's profit, and we're gonna go over, do a quick breakdown on what I did exactly. We could start off over here on this day. I'm not going to go too further back because I didn't play none of this. However, I was playing in and out of these 2 days. Yesterday's profit did come on July 18th. However, I could talk about what I traded over here and what was my thought process. Yeah, and basically going into this trade, the way I played it, on the second bounce, I entered around 162, I believe. And one thing that I wanted to do is also map out this resistance we're seeing. And I was expecting a move to come, obviously, by the time we got to the end of this breakout point, and of course we had the fake out, plus with volume we got out of this. So you could have also entered at this resistance point and then made a play out of it. I did get in a little bit earlier. I was expecting it to rise over here. However, we did continue trading sideways until we finally broke out of that. That said, going into yesterday's play, I can show you guys a history here. So we went in with 15,000 shares at $1.82. That was around 943. So let's go to 943. 943 was around this area right here. And going back to the 5-minute, we could map out our support and resistance. And basically what we saw over here going to pre-market was it kept bouncing off of this support over here. So we're seeing an uptrend overall. And like I say in a lot of my videos, when you see an uptrend, you see volume, you see momentum. When you see those three things, you want to go for a long because the odds are on your side. As we saw the uptrend hold and we broke out of resistance, we're basically now looking for the next breakout point, which is going to be to get above this high over here. Another entry, if you're not going to play the bottom part here, is just waiting for this breakout level to get in and then playing for the upside. However, I knew that we're in an uptrend and I was going to play the pattern over here and set my stop loss around 175 just in case. And yeah, luckily we got our breakout and we went straight towards that previous high, broke it, and then I sold out around 198. And then the final play was for $2. This was around 1036. And the one hard thing about this play, I entered at $2. However, we did come back down to this previous support or breakout level, and we broke down a little bit below it. So this was like a stop loss hunt right here. Also, when you go to draw your resistance, we also noticed that it's still bouncing off of that resistance. So we finally got the bounce. We retested that high of $2 and we got the breakout. And then I believe I set my stop loss around this 206 level, and that was the final trade. So overall, we netted 5K on the trade. And just looking at the overall chart, we saw a continuation to the upside. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play this. Like I said, I do work, so I don't have a lot of time to look at the charts. 5K already is a lot for the day, but it gets to a point in time where you consider doing it full time, but I'm just not there yet. So we'll see what happens in the future, but that's where we're at in terms of the portfolio, and we'll continue growing. To end the video, taking the wins for what they are, trying to set the losses as low as possible, mitigate that, and just continue for the upside.